Laura and James. Laura began unpacking her suitcase and wondered when her husband Sean would arrive. He had surprised her with a cruise to the Bahamas to rekindle their marriage. Speaking of surprises, he had only told her about it last night. All she had to do was pack her things. Sean had taken time off work and told both of their parents. The only thing she hadn't managed to do in advance was call James, her lover. Laura was glad that all the hiding and lying would soon be over. Her affair with James was over. It was time, considering the likelihood that she and Sean would soon have a child. However, she was glad that she had managed to have an affair before the baby was born. It was a one-time, first and last affair to confirm her attractiveness to other men. Thinking about it, she wondered why she had agreed to date James in the first place. He was handsome and charming, and the sex was exciting at first, but there was no love. At one time, she believed that there had to be an element of love to justify having a lover. Now she was forced to admit that it was just lust. The sex was good, but it was definitely not worth risking her marriage. Thank God they had been careful. Neither Sean nor James's wife Donna had found out. It was better to end it now and not tempt fate any further. Laura hoped that Sean was sincere when he said he was ready to have children after the cruise. Having children was one of the reasons, though not the main one, for getting married. She wanted so much to be a mother. In her mind, she had redesigned the guest room twice, once for a boy and once for a girl. The best part of her life was about to begin. She was so happy. The sound of a key in the door made Laura's heart flutter. She planned to greet Sean with the strongest hug and the most passionate kiss she could muster. When the door opened, she exhaled, "James, you can't come in. Sean will be here any minute. Go away." "Laura!" James shouted. "Laura, what are you doing here? Donna should be here any minute. This is our cabin." Neither of them seemed to know what to do except tell the other to go away. After a few agonizing seconds, James hit himself on the head and said, "Oh, damn. Now I get it. This is supposed to be our cabin, yours and mine." "What are you talking about? Don't you understand?" They found out. "For some reason, your husband and my wife decided to arrange a lover's cruise for us. Maybe as a parting gift to our marriages." "Number, that can't be. It doesn't make any sense. Sean told me he arranged this cruise and said he had to meet me late because of a last-minute business detail. He told me this cruise was a way to strengthen our marriage and prepare for having children." Donna told me the same thing, almost word for word. Something about the way she said it sounded a little off. Now I know why. "Are you sure? What if they show up?" "Show me your ticket." After studying the piece of paper, James explained, "Listen, we've been booked into the same cabin. You can wait before unpacking if you want to see if Sean shows up, but I think we're screwed." "I'll call Sean. This must be some kind of crazy mistake." She dialed the number but got no answer. A second attempt yielded the same result. "Damn it. The phone company must still be working on their upgrade. That's why I didn't call you last night." "Who told you the phones weren't working?" "Sean. Guess what Donna told me last night when I said I needed to make a call? The phones probably aren't working because they cut us off from the phone plan. They knew we'd try to call each other." "Number. That can't be. I was going to end our affair after the cruise. I need my husband and my marriage. I want to have children. Sean's children. Quick, let's get off the ship." "It's too late. The ship has already left the dock. We have a couple of days before our first port." "I'll get off there and go home. I'll beg him not to do anything stupid." "How will you get home?" "I'll catch the return flight." "How will you pay for that?" "With my credit card, of course." "So, you assume our credit cards are still valid?" "I didn't think of that. Of course, he's not that mean." "Go to the treasurer and see if you can withdraw anything from the card. I'll go with you and check mine, too." Their trip to the treasurer confirmed James's prediction. Their credit cards were declined. They went online and discovered that half of their joint accounts had been cut off. Their ATM cards would have provided access to their joint accounts if they hadn't been canceled. The cashier allowed them to call their spouses, but both got a "number no longer in service" message. So, Laura, how much cash do you have? About $300. You? About $250. It doesn't look like we'll be taking any side trips. I think we're stuck here until the end of the cruise. I guess you have a return ticket. I do. What am I going to do now? This is going to be the worst week of my life. How could I have been so stupid? Well, we can enjoy the cruise. No one knows what's in store for us. All I want to do is cry and think about how to get my husband back. Fine. I'll unpack and see what we can do for free. You don't think we're going to live in the same cabin, do you? Laura, we've been having sex for months when we thought our spouses didn't know. What's so special about sharing a room when they do? Well, maybe Sean will be more forgiving if I tell him we didn't share a cabin on the cruise. You're really delusional. Good luck with that. Laura and James shared a cabin and a bed on the cruise. Laura agreed to cuddle up to James on the nights he stayed in the cabin, but no sex. He found another woman who invited him to her cabin for a couple of nights. Laura did nothing but eat, sleep, cry, and prepare her speech for when she saw Sean. She expressed optimism that Sean would forgive her. James rolled his eyes instead of laughing at her naivety. Their luggage was taken by bus to the airport. On the way back, they sat next to each other. They hardly spoke. At the baggage claim in their hometown, James saw a man with a sign with his and Laura's names on it. The man said he had been hired to drive them home. As soon as James and Laura got into the car, the driver handed each of them an envelope. You've been served. I thought you were the driver. That too. I was paid to drive you and serve you. You must read the letters from your spouses. I'll take you both to 1353 Westwood Avenue. That's my house, said James. What about the lady? I was told to take you both there. The answer may be in the letter dot. Each envelope contained a letter with separate requests for divorce. Laura and James, we hope you both enjoyed the cruise. No. If you think that treating you both to a cruise was some kind of sign of affection, think again. I, Sean, bought the cruise tickets before I found out about your affair. They were non-refundable. After Donna and I got together to confirm that we were both being cheated on, I think the term is the same for women as it is for men, we came up with the idea of sending you two on a cruise. We needed time to get our affairs in order. Pun intended. We have a mutual divorce attorney, which would probably be a good idea for the two of you as well. At least it will be cheaper. Receiving this letter marks the beginning of a 90-day separation. This will allow all of us to get used to the fact that we are no longer married to our current spouses. Instead of having 4 houses, we have decided that Donna will move in with me. Laura can move in with James. In case you're wondering, Donna and I don't have a romantic relationship. Not even revenge sex. It's not because Donna and I don't find each other attractive. It's because we don't think we should have sex with anyone else until we're divorced. What a strange concept. Not sleeping with anyone but your spouse. I think I've heard that somewhere before. Oh yes, our wedding vows, or were those just marriage proposals for the two of you? The next 90 days of separation is what we propose to use for negotiating the division of assets. Donna took everything she wanted from her house. Most of it went into storage. Laura, all your things are packed in boxes and are at James's house. Oh, before I forget, there's something we didn't leave for either of you. All the wedding photos and albums have been thrown out. If you want them, you can look for them at the city dump. Hey, you ruined our marriage. It seems like a fair trade to destroy the wedding photos. Obviously, marriage didn't mean the same thing to you as it did to me. Please spare us the excuses from the Cheater's Handbook. There is no excuse for what you two did. And you did it over and over again. Forget about counseling, at least marriage counseling, unless you both think it will help your future marriage to each other. But there's another issue related to whether a cheater who marries a cheater can ever trust their spouse. We know we couldn't, so we don't need marriage counseling. We really need to talk about the division of assets. We didn't ask for anything unusual in the petition. Basically, 50-50 for me and Laura. Donna has a prenup that doesn't give James much. I can see that half is unfair, but I can't expect anything better if we go to court. Is it fair that Laura gets half when she committed a crime and I didn't? There need to be more serious consequences for the two of you. Otherwise, you may not feel punished. If you are not punished, you may believe that you can get away with it again, regardless of whether you marry each other or marry other people. Donna and I have spent many hours discussing what punishment to give you too. By the way, James, that 20-year-old scotch you were keeping is just wonderful. Sorry, but the bottle is now empty. Donna was very creative in her suggestions, but most of them were illegal. Here's what we settled on. Copies of the photos, videos, and recordings of you two in the throes of sexual bliss will be distributed to everyone in our families, schools, churches, neighborhoods, and anyone else we can think of. I hope this has gotten your attention. What we really want to do is strengthen your desire to settle the terms of your divorce as quickly as possible. Some may view our proposal as a threat or blackmail. We view it as an incentive. We have also discussed whether to file a lawsuit against the company you both work for. They do not have a fraternization policy, and we have no evidence that your dates took place in the office or during work hours. It's a shame. We could use the money. I guess you're lucky in that regard. Communication. All future communication must be through our attorneys. We both have new phone numbers that only our attorneys know. Our attorney's contact information is listed below. We suggest 1 or 2 meetings to try to smooth out any differences. There are things like insurance, real estate, loans, mortgages, alimony, etc., which may be transactions that we exchange rather than divide in half. These sessions will be for asset calculation only. We are not looking for excuses, apologies, explanations, or requests for forgiveness or advice. Donna and Sean, Laura cried. The loss of her husband and the loss of his future children tore at her heart. James tried to comfort her. His depression did not lift until he saw his house. Boxes and boxes of Laura's belongings filled his living room. All of Donna's photos, like most of her belongings, were gone. For the first time, he truly understood that this was real. His wife was gone, and he was stuck with a woman he was only interested in when they were in bed. Laura gathered her essentials and the clothes she would need for a couple of days. "Where's the guest bedroom?" "The guest bedroom?" "Honey, if you're staying here, we'll be sleeping in the same bed, and I don't just mean sleeping. I'll be torn to pieces in a divorce. Donna's father made me sign a prenuptial agreement. If I'm caught cheating, I'll get nothing. It's your fault they caught me. You owe me a lot more sex than you've given me so far." "Why do you think it's my fault they found out? It could just as easily have been you. We both thought we were being careful. I don't know how they found out. Do you?" "I just know I was very careful. That doesn't change anything. You're either in my bed or out the door." "I'll take the door." She gathered some things and put them in the car. At least Sean had brought the car to James's house. "What are you going to do with the rest of my things?" "You have 72 hours, not a minute more." "That should be plenty." Laura paused and added, "I'm sorry for my part in hurting both of our marriages. I wish you luck with the divorce." After checking into a motel and getting some sleep, Laura got ready for work. She looked forward to her daily routine as a distraction from her situation. The distraction didn't last long. Laura ran into her best friend at work, Debbie. Debbie found out about the cruise when Sean gave Laura the day off. He told her that Sean and Laura were getting back together and preparing for the birth of their children. "Laura, since you don't have much of a tan, I'm guessing you and Sean were busy in your cabin making babies." Instead of the broad smile Debbie expected, Laura's face crumpled, and she began to cry. Laura ran into her office and Debbie followed her. She showed her friend the story about the cruise, the letter, and the divorce papers. Then both women cried, Sean and Donna. Well, Donna, I think they're back. How do you feel about what we did? Terrible and satisfying. I really don't want to give up on my marriage, but I like that we didn't let them get away with it. It seems like our marriages meant nothing to them. I feel like I've been fooled my entire married life. Well, probably not that long. As far as we know, they've only been together for a few months. Sean, do you think their desire to cheat only appeared a few months ago? I think their undying love for us started to die a few months after the honeymoon. If not, then what happened that suddenly made them cheat? I understand your point of view. I still can't understand why she did it. I had no idea she was anyone other than a devoted wife and a woman who wanted to have children with me. Thank God I caught her before we had children. It would have been a real mess to get divorced with a child involved. Do you think James will fight the divorce or not? If I present the prenuptial agreement, he'll probably contest it. Otherwise, he'll get almost nothing. He only brought about $10,000 into the marriage. Do you think the photos of them entering and leaving the motel room will be enough to prove adultery? On the one hand, I would really like to have a video of them actually having sex. On the other hand, I think a sex tape of them would fry my brain. Those photos probably won't be enough evidence, at least on their own. I need Laura to testify to make a case. I don't know. It sounds strange, but Laura has pretty high moral standards, except when it comes to cheating on her husband. She may have cheated on me, but she may also tell the truth about this affair. Can you talk to her for me? Maybe. Let's play it by ear for now. You take care of your divorce, and I'll take care of mine. As far as I can tell, there's no rush. By the way, how long do you think you can put up with me here before you kick my skinny ass out? As far as I'm concerned, you can stay here as long as you want. I was surprised at how comfortable I was living with you and how quickly we established a routine. I enjoyed our conversations and mutual comfort. Sean paused and smiled. And after a thorough examination, your ass isn't skinny. Thank God you noticed. Now I don't have to slip testosterone supplements into your food. I've been trying so hard to get you to show some interest. Every now and then, I need reassurance that I'm still a desirable woman. I noticed, but please don't stop trying. They both smiled. More than a month passed before Sean and Laura agreed to meet. Since James hadn't seen any photos, he contested the claim of evidence of marital infidelity. Donna's divorce would take longer. Each of Sean and Laura's lawyers came with a list of points to negotiate. Laura's lawyer was allowed to go first. My client requests that all checks and savings be divided equally between her and her husband. She offers to keep the car and transfer the loan to her. His name should be removed from the title. In exchange, she offers to remove her name from the title of his car, and he will take the loan. Both parties will purchase their own car insurance. As for the house, she proposes either selling it and dividing the proceeds, or he can buy it out by paying her half of the proceeds, as determined by a certified real estate appraiser. She will be removed from the contract if he retains ownership. Sean's lawyer replied, "We have no problem with those terms." Her husband has decided to sell the house. He will put it up for sale within 90 days. What else does she want? Laura's lawyer spoke up. My client will only agree to your terms if your client talks to her alone for an hour. No, Sean said. Then my client requests that 12 counseling sessions be required. If your client refuses to participate, we will file for alimony of $3,000 per month and loss of equity in the home. You know we can get both with the right judge. Sean's lawyer informed him that local judges like to give counseling and allow wives to stay in the house. Although she probably wouldn't get $3,000 a month in alimony and the house, she would probably get much more than he was offering. The lawyer further advised Sean to take the 1-hour deal and be glad there weren't worse demands. My client will give his wife 1 hour on the condition that she signs an agreement in advance. Sean, will you agree to talk to me instead of just sitting here? Sean was angry, but he agreed. He's never lied to me. I accept. When Sean and Laura were alone, he said to her, "At 3:32, we're done. I deserve this. You promised to listen to me." Sean nodded and stared at her. "Sean, I have sinned. I have sinned against you and God. I'm not going to make excuses. I fooled myself into thinking everything was okay. I lied to myself, to you, and to God. I cheated. I broke my marriage vows. I betrayed the person I love more than anything in the world. I deserve to be punished. I think you probably agree with what I just said." Sean nodded again. "The question is punishment. Is divorce too much punishment? Is a second chance too much? Please imagine a scale of justice. When it comes to divorce, put the weight of my adultery on that scale. That makes the negative side go down. Is there anything else you want to put on the negative side? Were there other reasons why I wasn't a good wife to you? Other than having a lover, have I ever been disrespectful to you or our marriage? Did anyone ever come to you with negative words about my behavior or try to tell you that I spoke badly behind your back? Did I ever refuse to have sex with you, even when I was having an affair? Did you ever doubt my love for you until you found out about James and me?" Sean shook his head no. "Sean, is there anything you can say about me that would tip the scales in my favor, that would give me a second chance? Do you believe I was an evil slut when you married me?" "No, you were the most perfect person I ever knew. That's why your betrayal hurt so much. What did I do to turn you into a whore?" It was hard for him not to cry. "Sean, honey, it wasn't you. You were everything I ever wanted. The problem was that I convinced myself that I wanted more and deserved it." "What about our family life? Did I do something wrong?" "Laura, you became not only my wife, but my best friend. I wanted to hear about your day when I came home. You seemed to want to hear about mine. I felt guilty about spending too much of our budget on things for myself, while you hardly ever asked for money. I like talking to you about politics, even though you're almost always wrong." He made them both smile. "I liked our conversations about children and our future. I never ever checked up on you when I was away on business. We loved each other too much, or so I thought. I know you said it was all your fault, but I can't help wondering if I took you for granted or did something else that made you turn to James." Now he was crying. "Look at the scales, Sean. Is it anywhere close to balanced? Do you have even a shred of love for me to put on the side of a second chance? I know it's hard to believe any promises I make after breaking our wedding vows, but I swear on the lives of our unborn children that I will never betray you again. Please give me a second chance." Sean thought about his choice until his head hurt. "Laura, I'm going to need some time to get the image of you and James sleeping in that motel room out of my head. I'll agree to let my lawyer hold on to the divorce papers we just signed, on one condition, that you agree to testify against James in Donna's divorce." "What will I testify about?" "James challenged the photos of you and him leaving the motel room as proof that you had sex with him. Legally, he's probably right. You would testify that you had sex with him." "So you lied when you said you had a video of us having sex. Well, there's nothing we can do about that now. Sean, it's not hard for me to tell the truth about this affair. Of course we had sex in that motel room. I'm sorry I jeopardized 2 marriages, but I'm not going to lie to save James from punishment. He's not worth lying for. He and I both deserve punishment. I just don't want it to be divorce." "Thank you. I'll tell my lawyer." "Sean, what does this mean for our living arrangement? Will you let me move back in?" "Donna is living there now. We'll have to wait. I don't want to kick her out until she has somewhere else to go, but I also promised to put the house up for sale." "If you put off the divorce, you won't have to sell the house." "I'll be willing to wait until Donna leaves while we spend time together. Maybe we should date again. We are two people who have changed. We need to rediscover ourselves and our relationship. With God's help, we can get back together, fall in love, and be ready to fill our house with children. I'm not sure I can fill a house, but I'd like to. I like the idea. I'll tell Donna. Donna wasn't as happy with the news as Sean had expected, but she forced herself to smile and said, "Thank you." When James heard that Laura was willing to testify that they had had sex in a motel, he capitulated. He was surprised that Donna agreed to pay off his car loan and credit card to compensate him for the loss of his half of the equity in their home. In the current housing market, selling their house would barely cover the loan and the seller's fee. Alimony was not part of the prenuptial agreement. Sean was puzzled by Donna's leniency and asked her about it. "I really wanted to burn that bastard. His betrayal hurt me more than anything ever has. Then I looked at you. You were badly hurt, but you couldn't be vindictive toward Laura. The scale of justice made me change my mind. My marriage to James was mostly positive before their affair. Dad thinks I'm crazy, but I feel much better after the divorce than I would have if I had taken a more violent revenge." "Thank you, Sean, for everything." She hugged him and kissed him passionately. Sean was surprised. The kiss warmed him and challenged his belief that Donna was not the kind of woman he should be interested in, sexually or romantically. "Donna, I'm sorry, Sean, but I care about you so much. At times it killed me that I couldn't show you how much I care about you. I hope you can forgive me." "Forgive you? I wanted to rip your clothes off and have sex with you. That's the most turned on I've been since this whole thing started. Damn, girl, you sure know how to kiss." "So you want to try again?" "More than anything. The problem is, I'm trying to figure out if I can give Laura a second chance. How can I do that if we're having an affair?" "First of all, if we date, it won't be an affair. We're both legally free from marital vows right now. Second, who says you can't give me a first chance and give Laura a second chance at the same time?" Sean's logic and libido battled for control of his body. "I need some time to think. I'm going to bed, alone, and see if I can sleep." Sean headed for the bed. The choice was no clearer or easier. Donna knocked on the open door. She was wearing a nightgown that was transparent in the hallway light. "Sean, can I sleep next to you tonight? I'm having trouble sleeping. I promise I'll be good, please." Although he knew it was a bad idea, he gave in. "Okay, if you promise." She slipped into bed next to him and put her arm around him and her leg over his. Donna kissed him on the cheek. "Thank you." It took Sean a while to fall asleep. It was a restless sleep with many dreams. James accepted it and moved on. He was sent a copy of the divorce decree. There was no further contact with him. Sean had an active social life. He enjoyed seeing Laura and began to remember what had attracted him to her in the first place. She didn't pressure him, but made it clear that she was willing to do whatever it took to regain his trust. Donna had no intention of moving out, even though James had left the house they shared. Sean told Donna that they needed to talk. "Donna, I'm incredibly happy. I have a beautiful, intelligent, caring woman living with me who has given me the best sex life I've ever had. I've also reconnected with the woman who was the love of my life for many years. She hurt me, and I find it difficult to trust her. I have rekindled enough feelings for her to wonder if I am giving you an unfair advantage by letting you live here and have sex with you. There is a house available. Why don't you go back?" "I'm not going back home because, as far as I'm concerned, this is my home. I want to be with you. Wherever we are together is home. If you think I have an unfair advantage living here, that's fine with me. I'm fighting for the person I love. I don't understand why you want a woman who betrayed you when you have a woman who has never cheated on you and never will. I don't want to insult your sense of justice. As much as I hate the idea, I'll move out. I plan to win your love back from Laura, regardless of our living situation. I trust your judgment. Even though you haven't said it, you love me, Sean. I know it. I'll wait. But I plan for us to get married and have children. Now let's go to bed for one more night, and I hope you're not going to sleep." Months passed. Laura felt better, especially after she found out that Donna had moved out. She was disappointed that Sean had never visited her at their old house. Now they hugged and kissed, but there was no sex. She hoped he remembered their time in bed. Most of the time they spent together, they reminisced about their courtship and marriage. They never discussed her affair. There was a 2-week break before Sean and Laura's next meeting. Laura was sure he was going to announce his decision. She felt she had reason to be optimistic. She sat down at the table in the conference room. Sean was there, but so was Donna. Laura sat there holding back tears. "Laura, I wanted you both to be here because I've been mentally and physically torn between you. You both need to hear what I'm about to say. Our current situation is unfair to both of you. I feel it's unfair to me as well. I've come to a decision. Laura, I have been able to forgive you. Our time together recently has reminded me of why I fell in love with you, and how wonderful it was to be married to you before you cheated on me. I have been tempted to try to rebuild our marriage, under certain conditions, of course. The problem is that I cannot forget. While I may be willing to take the risk of having you as my wife, I can't risk having the mother of my children be unreliable. As bad as it would be for us without the children, I am physically sick at the thought of what would happen if we had children. Actually, Laura, I made this decision a couple of months ago. Since then, I've been working on a new divorce settlement. Laura, because of the wonderful years you gave me for most of our marriage, I want to give you a chance to support yourself so you can prepare for the next phase of your life. I have no doubt that you will find a man who is willing to take a chance and give him children. I have sent your lawyer new settlement terms that are much more favorable to you than the previous ones. I wish you all the best, Laura. I really do." Sean and Donna stood up to leave. "Sean, can't you?" Her ability to speak left her when she saw the slight bulge in Donna's stomach. She knew she had lost what she wanted most.